those who don't know me, I work in the SASE go-to-market team and look after ADEM from a go-to-market perspective across JPAC. Now, before we go into the ADEM demo and kind of the use cases, I just want to quickly connect this conversation to the ZTNA 2.0 training that we all went through in the last few months. Now, one of the three pillars of the Prisma Access offering is delivering the best user experience for our SASE customers and ensuring that their employees are having a positive and productive user experience. It's critical to drive the consumption of our security services within the organization and maximize their security posture. Now, Prisma Access itself delivers customers with the 5 nines of uptime, providing the industry's lowest latency to security processing, as well as obviously the industry's only SaaS performance SLAs. But Prisma Access is not the only thing between the end user and the application. There's also the PC, Wi-Fi, routers, ISP, and application, wherever that may be hosted as well. So what happens when one of those elements in the service delivery chain breaks down? And this is where ADEM comes in. ADEM can provide the customers with the intelligence they need to solve problems beyond Prisma Access that are causing the digital experience issues. Now, I'm going to walk through kind of 3 scenarios and 3 demos today that you can take to your customers. And the idea is, hopefully you'll be able to demo this and show this to your customers as well. Now, the first one is really a reactive use case where an employee is having an issue and they've called the help desk and the help desk trying to remediate this. And, what we're trying to solve for is really being able to find the root cause quickly there. And the second use case is where IT organizations, really want to be in their operations and, they want to be proactive and solve problems before they turn into those help desk tickets. So here we'll see kind of how ADEM can be used to catch deterioration of the service before it becomes too problematic. And the final piece is really, these are first in the industry. I'll take you, a walkthrough of ADEM's new self-serve capability. Now, this will help employees solve problems themselves, without calling the help desk. So things that are within their control, they'll be able to see what's wrong and will give recommendations on remediation as well. So I think that is an absolute game changer for us because it is something that's not out there in the market at the moment. Now, from the first use case, you've got a user who's kind of logged the help desk ticket stating that their Dropbox performance and some other applications as well are deteriorated. So as a help desk, when you receive this ticket, normally it could take hours to either get in touch with the user to gather information or gathering information from other places. Whereas with ADEM, literally in 5 clicks, you can log on, you click onto Prisma Access, go into ADEM, and then search for that user, and then look literally for the first kind of service delivery icon, which is not green. That's how quickly you can kind of get into where the issue lies. Now you can see here the Dropbox performance fell off a cliff on September 13th, and you can see that the local area network is what's showing yellow with a latency of 370 milliseconds. Now, when you usually expect this to be around 10. Now, this latency on the route is obviously propagating to the rest of the service delivery chain as well, where you can see kind of the internet, Prisma Access, and the application all coloured in red there. Now, often it's not, obviously, it's very important to understand where the issue is, but it's also important to understand where it isn't from a troubleshooting perspective. So here you can see in a point in time, the kind of Dropbox performance as it is shown by kind of TCP and SSL connect times there. You can see that it's degraded, but you can correlate that data quickly with the device performance, for instance, and you can see that there isn't any issues with the device. So you can quickly, say that it's not the device and look elsewhere for the issue. So I think from a help desk perspective, being able to show that it's not in a certain place is sometimes just as important as showing that it is somewhere. Now, similarly, if we were to look at look at the, drill into the router and look at the metrics there, you can quickly see that the issue is within that domain. So, in this case, it could be that the router's congested or a number of other issues, but you're able to quickly stop kind of trying to pinpoint and looking at other segments of the service delivery chain, and now just look at the router and what we can remediate from there. So, it could be that you reboot the router or even, replace the router in this instance to be able to remediate this. But to be able to get to that point from a kind of a customer or a user reporting a ticket to then, literally within seconds or minutes, be able to go, okay, well, this is the issue, call that user and, actually run through some remediation steps with them. That's critical for our customers. That really reduces, as Pete was saying, reduces that mean time to resolution drastically. So this use case is one that's available in the demo environment. It's one of the 5 mobile user use cases that's available for you to show customers as well. And the next one that I'll go through is one, again, that similar use case in terms of the reactive use case, but this is where in a branch office. Now here you can see, for Salesforce, for instance, you have some users experiencing intermittent degraded performance. And what you can straight away see is that, even though it's not across the board, with 3 of the parts in that SD-WAN environment, they are having poor performance. And again, because it's correlated, you can quickly see that with those parts, they've got one thing in common, the fact that it is a Verizon internet service. And if you, look a bit further into that, you can also see that where it's performing well is it's via a Comcast internet service. So that being able to correlate issues and being able to see where there's, common themes to performance issues is key in terms of resolving a lot of these things. So in this case, it could be moving all the Salesforce traffic and other traffic even to the Comcast services while working with Verizon to make sure that they are then, the service provider is actually remediating the issue there. So again, being able to really quickly see those issues, these, in an environment where they don't have this kind of tool, these are things that can take hours or even, days of back and forth between the end user, the IT desk, and obviously the service providers to actually get to the bottom of. So it is really a very powerful tool that we have here. Now, the next kind of scenario that I was talking about, the health checks, we've looked at how to deal with issues that are reported to IT. Now, how do we kind of deal with problems that aren't? Now, customers, they're always telling us that they want to be proactive and get ahead of the issues before they become major problems. And, we kind of have 2 ways that we can help with that. The first is through really the summary dashboard. As you can see here, they can straight away see that there's 28,000 devices connected here. And, out of that, 762 are having Wi-Fi issues and just over 1,000 are having issues with their local ISP. Now, this may not, instantly create, performance issues that are going to be reported. But what the team can see is there is underlying issues here that need to be addressed. So by proactively actually looking at these issues and getting to the bottom, you can actually stop those tickets from coming in and take that load off proactively as well. Now, the next thing here is, not only can we show kind of the health of the estate by segments, but it also provides IT and health tech information by geography and applications as well. So here you can see that there's 152 users in South Africa that are struggling with application performance issues, while most of the others across the world are doing okay. And there are 5 applications that are performing suboptimally relative to the others, which are in a good range. Now, ADEM allows it to proactively monitor and resolve issues by segment and geography and applications across the whole estate. So again, just like you were able to see kind of, there are ISP issues and drill down into that, you can also go into a region. And even if these aren't reported right now, they most likely will be as, these things continue. So I think that being able to kind of, again, correlate that data is really powerful in this instance. Now, the last thing that I want to go through, but definitely not least, we're introducing the self-serve functionality, and it is an industry first. So now self-serve will empower the end user to resolve some issues without involving IT. The product notifies the user when things within their control, like CPU, memory, Wi-Fi, and ISP are impacting the digital experience, and offers guided remediation steps to help them solve those problems. Now, ultimately, it's about reducing the number of tickets that come into the help desk and enhancing the experience for the end user. Now, let's look at what this actually looks like from an end user perspective. Now, just to note, this is obviously not in the product at the moment, but it will be in the next few weeks. So it is imminent that this will be available. So, assume the end user is having Zoom issues, for instance. Now, if ADEM sees that the Wi-Fi quality is poor, they'll be notified by Global Protect of the problem, and will be given, remediation recommendations as well. In this case, the signal strength has gone down, which may indicate that the users, moved away from the router or, switched to a different channel, and they need to, move closer or switch back to the channel that they were on. Now, if the user wants to know a bit more information on this, they can actually click into the GP application, which will give them more detailed info and historical information on how it was performing, on what kind of Wi-Fi networks they were connected to, for instance, which is obviously very helpful in remediation as well. Now, the first version of self-serve helps users with Wi-Fi signal strength, channel hopping, memory, CPU, and internet outages. And, we're obviously going to be building on that as we go along. Now, as I said, this is a big differentiator. We spoke about Zscaler before. It is not something that any of our competition have at the moment. So Zscaler with their ZDX platform, ThousandEyes, Netscope have their own DEM platform as well. This is something that is truly unique to us and what we can offer. So it's definitely something that we need to be putting in front of our customers, and there's a lot of value in as well. Now, from a business value perspective, how do we, how do these use cases translate into business value for a customer? Now, essentially, ADEM helps improve both the workforce and IT productivity by reducing the mean time to resolution for issues and reducing the number of tickets hitting the help desk. And we do this in kind of three ways. Now, first, as you saw, the ability to quickly isolate the problem. Often the biggest issue in problem solving is knowing where to look. And recently, one of our customers, shared with us that they were able to, they had more than 50 steps in their workflow for problem isolation, and they were actually bringing that down drastically to less than half of what that is. And the second one is really in the reduction of ticket escalations. Now, as you saw, ADEM makes it really easy to translate kind of a lot of complicated data into simple scores and correlated data visualizations, which makes it really easy to use. Now, this makes problem diagnosis easy and stops that ticket escalation to the expensive kind of tier 2 and tier 3 engineers. And our customers, again, are telling us that they've seen a reduction in escalations by about 60%, which, has a huge impact there as well. Now, the third one is really reducing the number of tickets coming in. Now, self-serve itself will have a big impact on that, but also, via doing those proactive health checks and, by actually proactively remediating issues, that will definitely help in reducing those tickets as well. Now, a recent report actually showed that companies spend 70% of their help desk budget on staffing and only 10% on technology. So it's really critical that they get the most out of the resource there.